So when you stand and deliver that State of the Union address, in no part of your mind or brain can you imagine Donald Trump standing up one day and delivering a State of the Union address?
Well, I can imagine it in a Saturday night skit. I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
He will never be president of the United States.
Donald Trump will never be elected president of the United States.
Now, Donald Trump is not going to become president of the United States.
I was shown a clip by Darren McBreen this afternoon of a man that I think encapsulates just the joke-level victory we've had. So this man speaks for me.
To all of the Trump haters, all of the Hillary Clinton supporters, all of the people that said that my Trump was gonna lose. So I say to you this morning, the day after the election,
bottom line, humanity is awakening, and that right there is a victory. And so I salute you all, and here's a champagne glass to all of you, including this man who's my brother, because he's a human being and he loves liberty.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
I think that Donald Trump's campaign is over.
Like it's a zombie, right? Like it's a Walking Dead. It's not.
There's nowhere for him to go.
And the fact that most people think Donald Trump is going to lose probably means Donald Trump is going to lose.
When the inevitable happens, which is a very substantial landslide victory on November 8th.
And we need, when this race is over, to talk about why that was. I personally think this race is over.
To me, this race is over.
Politico's latest survey of political insiders agrees, quote, Clinton will crush Trump in November.
Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
No.
All of the people that said that my Trump was gonna lose. So I say to you this morning, the day after the election,
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
He will never be president of the United States.
Donald Trump will never be elected president of the United States.
Now, Donald Trump is not going to become president of the United States.
Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States.
Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States.
Let's be clear. Donald Trump will lose the election.
I have one thing to say, one thing only, and that is that this race is over.
No one's going to be happier than President Obama when Trump loses. No one, except for me.
So again, you've got riots across America. Portland, San Diego, Los Angeles. There'll be more tonight. Don't worry about that. George Soros and MoveOn.org have got this planned to a fine T. Again, the media is pretending it's an organic protest. It's not an organic protest. They literally have news networks trying to hire people to play the role of anti-Trump agitators so they can interview them. They've got CNN interviewing their own cameramen and claiming it's an organic anti-Trump protester. You've got MoveOn.org on their own website saying this is what we're going to do, following these orders, bussing them in to Austin. We had that article up on Infowars.com. And again, this Trump riot trend is yet another example of how the alt-left, the social justice warriors, the regressive left, is infinitely more dangerous, violent, and intolerant than the alt-right. We had an entire election campaign of the media demonizing the alt-right as this violent, bigoted force that's going to stage violence and start attacking people. Well, look who's attacking people. It's actually the alt-left. It's your people. It's the monsters that you created with all this hysterical media coverage for the past year, saying that Donald Trump is literally Hitler, that he's going to destroy the world. Penny, penny, the sky is falling. You created that. And that's why they're now having to frame it as some kind of organic, natural protest that is legitimate. It's not legitimate. You had the Daily Beast come out and say, oh, look at Trump. He's already showing himself to be anti-free press, anti-freedom of assembly, because he decried these protests. They're not protests when they're burning down shops, smashing windows, attacking people on the street. That's a riot. That's criminal behavior. It's not a protest. But again, because the leftist media is wedded to these people, I mean, they incited them in the first place. The media is responsible for inciting these riots because of their hysterical rhetoric about Donald Trump being a fascist. They all believe it. They've all got moral, righteous indignation. They're all out on the streets thinking that they're actually some kind of anti-fascist revolutionary force, like they're fighting against the occupation in France by the Nazis. And the media has done that to this people. In fact, let's go to that video now of the black bloc anarchist who probably is a 25-year-old virgin who lives in his mom's basement and has never had a job, smashing an electrical box with what looks like a baseball bat. Let's go to that video now. I'll talk over it. Again, this was last night. Look at him attacking an electrical box with dozens of people surrounding him. And then one of them sees some sense and tries to stop him, this woman. So then he starts attacking the woman. This is the tolerant, peaceful, loving left. This is from the Trump riot. But again, you won't see that on CNN. They'll say it was largely peaceful as shops are being smashed in, attacking bus stations, burning American flags, attacking people in the street. The media will say, oh, there were a few disturbances, but largely peaceful, legitimate protest. No, not legitimate. They're literally protesting against the idea of free democratic elections, okay? F off to North Korea. You'll really like it there. But again, this is another example of the violent, intolerant left that the media has given legitimacy to over the past year, has incited with this hysterical extremist rhetoric about how Donald Trump is literally Hitler. And we're going to go into some more videos of that probably in the next segment now. But what's the end game? Well, now they're out arguing that because Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, which isn't even true at this point, they haven't counted 8% of the vote, which is largely in Republican areas. So by the end of this, when it's all wrapped up, Donald Trump could have won the popular vote anyway. But again, that's the mantra. This is directly from MoveOn.org, from George Soros. Oh, Hillary won the popular vote. Therefore, we need to put pressure on the Electoral College to change the rules of the game after the game is finished. They're literally trying to overturn the results of a free democratic election like some third world dictatorship. This is out of the New York Post. The one scenario that could still get Hillary into the White House. For diehard Democrats holding out hope that they won't have to live through a Trump presidency, God forbid, literally Hitler, there is a last incredibly long shot for them to latch onto a surprise twist in the Electoral College. And it basically talks about putting pressure on members of the Electoral College to not vote in line with how the states voted in the presidential election. There are actually Tumblr websites, petitions, frothing SJWs everywhere devoted to this. They actually think they can overturn the results of a democratic election. These people are authoritarians, okay? They wouldn't be out of place in Venezuela or North Korea or communist China. That's the spirit that runs through these people. There you see the meme, claim Trump is going to destroy America as they go out and destroy America. Again, it's all reflection, it's all projection. What they accuse you of, they're doing, they're planning. And they're trying to actually overturn the results of a democratic election. We saw it with Brexit. Don't think this is not a threat, okay? 17 million people in the United Kingdom, a majority in the vote of 52%, voted for Brexit. We were told beforehand the government will implement your vote. Look what happened. They got lawyers, they got political class insiders to take it to the High Court Now it looks like it's going to go to a parliamentary vote. They're going to vote against it. They're going to annul the democratic will of the British people, or at least attempt to. And that's what leftists and social justice warriors, funded by billionaire elitist George Soros, are trying to do in the United States. We'll get into it after the break. This is the Alex Jones Show Live. Stay tuned.
Did you know that only 6 corporations control 90% of what millions of Americans see, hear, and read every single day? It's the illusion of choice. Think about it. The mainstream media is owned by only a handful of megacorporations with vested interests. But on the other hand, the internet is an interconnected network of billions of sources. So you can research information for yourself from multiple sources, or you can blindly accept what you hear or read in the mainstream media, never questioning what you are being told. This gives you a false sense of reality. I mean, do you actually know what you think you know? Or have you been programmed to accept someone else's version of events? Think about it. This is Darren McBreen, and I want you to break the matrix at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv and listen to The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on in your mind.